Alright guys, we're taking a little tour today. For you that are not from Richmond or have ever passed through Richmond, you saw the big cigarette Marlboro sign. Well, that's because this is Philip Morris USA, one of the headquarters, or maybe the headquarters. That sign I'm talking about, big stick sticking up in the air, is right through there. You can only see the little tip of it. It's actually where my mom worked for years until she was moved to a different department across town. But this is the manufacturing area, research and development. And crazy, it's on both sides of the road. Well, we got Christian's mug in there. For literally mile or over a mile, because it goes to the other side of 95. And I'll bring you all a whole video about that one day. I have to ask my mom, and I don't even know that she knows the story, but I know my dad does, about an area that they shut down. Don't know if it was contaminants in the ground or what the problem was, but they shut it down years ago. And it's literally gated and they don't use it for anything. And it's this truck repair there, coming in to do something. Still on both sides of the road. Gate H, gate G. I mean, they got gate after gate after gate. Cards at each gate that let you in and out. Crazy thing. This is how far it goes back. My mom worked there. She used to have the stainless spoked hubcaps on her Buick or Oldsmobile or whatever it was that had a lock on them. And they were expensive. They would get stolen. We're coming to the end now at these train tracks. I think they actually bring stuff in by train freight also, somewhere through here. And we're in what's considered Richmond, outskirts of Chesterfield. Ignore the loud exhaust on this Bronco. Kristen's driving style. It's got a pedal commander, that's why.
Yeah, I knew it.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Take a left here. So now we're cutting through to Route 1, Jeff Davis Highway, Petersburg Turnpike, kind of where the Petersburg Turnpike started. And starts where that book that we have kind of shows you. But this is the same road we're on. You're just up in the city area where it's not really as safe. You got a gun with you? No? All right. Christian's never prepared, neither do I. But if you go much further that way, you kind of almost want to have one with you. Pawn shops. I mean, you can kind of get the lay of the land, you know, depending on what part of the country you're from. Maybe you don't. Maybe you never experienced this. But things change up this way quite a bit, safety-wise. If you go that way, I guess we're on, yeah, we are. Bells Road. In case you ever heard of Bells Road. Also an area where a lot of street racing and drag racing has taken place since the 60s, validated by my uncles and father. That is where they would go to street race back then. Crazy, they still do that sometimes today. You also got Whole Street Outlet, which is the other thing I wanted in this video. If we ever get past this red light, that's a pretty cool place that sells surplus. HSO is what I guess they renamed it, but it's Whole Street Outlet, even though it's not on Whole Street. I think my father told me they used to be, and that's why it was named that. We used to go in there and get some stuff from time to time. But they got a rocket out front. How cool is that? But they sell tarps and cables and a lot of surplus stuff from the government. Some new, some used. Oh, wow, the seatbelt thing is still beeping. Christian, you got your seatbelt on, don't you? Then we got Sam's Crab Shack, Tacos Mexico. Also up this way was a large family-owned junkyard, wrecking yard, which was one of the first I ever came to. Right here was Lacey Auto Parts. Lacey Auto Parts was there for, I don't know how long, but it was a long time. Now it's like used parts and thrift shop, and yeah, they're cleaning out the, that's pretty neat. Cleaning out the water. I guess they're trying to flow water, probably so it doesn't freeze. Again, we're not used to the infrastructure needed to support non-above freezing days. So many days it has not been above freezing, and nights in the teens. I think Mike said it got down to 9 last night. But you get a little feel for what we got here. Across here, I hate seeing stuff like this, but that was a big shopping center and grocery store anchor. That's been closed for over 20 years. Thanks for putting your arm out for safety, sir.
You got it.
Like protecting a kid. For those of you that are from the area or were from the area, we know we have a lot of followers that used to live around here and moved away. I know that from lots of the comments, and we appreciate the comments, guys. Let us know where you're from. Comment whether you're from the Virginia area or not. Just give us a comment today where you're watching from and what the weather's like. Tell us what the temperature is. Love to see it, because we got guys in Florida that have never seen snow before, and Georgia and Alabama and other areas. That's just, the weather is just crazy on this East Coast side of things. Also over here we got Dupont. You guys watch racing, even if you're not from around here, you've heard of Dupont, Jeff Gordon. Right here is the Dupont factory where my grandfather worked. My grandfather lived about 5 miles down a road we're getting ready to come across. Actually, I'll drive that road one day and find out how far it was. Might have been, I'd say it's 5 to 7 miles. That man was so dedicated to going to work. When it snowed and he could not drive, because I don't think he ever owned a four-wheel drive, he walked to work to make sure he made it to the plant. I think he went 40 years, and that's Argent Credit Union, which is the credit union for Dupont. But all back in there is the Dupont factories. And if you guys don't know, they do Kevlar and Tylar and all these other different things. This one's called the Spruance plant. I'm sure there's Duponts all over. That's a cool little guard shack out front. A lot of history around here. I don't know how long DuPont's been there, but that's an old manufacturing company. And I'm pretty sure he worked there 40 years. And just like my mom, retired and continued working. He even worked for us when he was in his, I know he's in his 80s. I don't know if he worked for us in his 90s, but would answer the phone and loved interacting with people. But that was probably a half mile to 3/4 of a mile stretch of DuPont. So again, the acres upon acres is unbelievable. Still on Route 1. It's one of our old trucks there. Old Amarillo truck. Another big store. They closed many years ago and has turned into a flea market. And inside there is a treat in itself. We'll go there one day and do a video. That is, we'll have to go on the weekend. That place is a treat. There's probably, I don't know, 75 to 100 different vendors in that building. In these little cubicles, basically. Now, another interesting fact, you've got Chippenham, which is Route 150, Chippenham Highway. As you went down Chippenham, you would actually cross across where my grandfather's farmland was. They took a piece of his farm years ago to build that road. And my mom can tell a little better story about that. There is an Amazon drop facility there for their trucks and a offload yard. Fallen Creek, which is an actual waterfall, Fallen Creek. And then you got your apartments and your kind of low-income housing and things through here. Dundas Road. A shop right there that actually my sales guy Mike used to help manage at one time. A lot of Spanish through this area, which is good. We actually yesterday have got us a translation device. So if any of you guys are watching and you're Spanish, we can help you. We've always tried to help. I talk kind of a Spanglish, right?
Sure.
And I did go through a little Spanish in school, but I've told everybody, all my kids, to definitely learn Spanish. It's super important. You know, and the reason is, you know, they've got the trailer parks and the low-income housing through here, and those people don't mind where they live. They just want to work, and they're hard workers. They are amazingly hard workers. We sub things from them all the time and get work done, and I support them wholeheartedly as far as good, strong, solid workers. But anyway, we do also sell to them as long as everything's legal and you got your proper paperwork. But sometimes the communication gap is an issue, and they are really used to getting taken advantage of. So we try our best every chance we get to help them, sell to them, because it's not going to happen with us. But the horror stories that we have had or seen or helped some of them through in the past is terrible. There's a bank that got robbed a few times and now it's closed. Another little small car dealer here. He does have a cool antique truck up underneath. Used to be an old gas station. We should have brought the stabilizer, but I really didn't plan on doing this today. The chrome wheel place. That used to be our stereo shop for many, many, many years. Dale took care of us on quite a few radios and stereos and speakers, and bought some of my first amplifiers from him. And now we're up to what you guys have seen before, DGSC. Also sprawls at least a mile or two of circumference. The apartments we showed you guys, still under construction. But DGSC, Defense Supply Center Richmond, used to be Defense General Supply Center, so I guess that's why we still call it DGSC. But a ton of history there too, and I'm trying to look into how I can get in there to give you guys a tour, because we got a lot of response from the last one, and I still want to find out how they landed that jet and stopped it right there. They did a good job getting between those trees. There's tanks over there, there's all kinds of stuff, and the elk are out there. There they are, Chris, and I can zoom in good on this phone. Slow down, slow down. There's the elk. I want to see if y'all can see their tail. You got a white spot there on their tail. That might not have showed up so good on video. Then we got Markham. That's a vault company. So you'll probably never visit there, but some of your family may have to visit there for your burial vault. And here's the intersection of Bellwood Road, Chester Road, and Route 1. And again, we're back on here. Every time we do one of these videos, somebody reminds me. So this was the Planter's Peanut Place, but then it was actually a Subway. And I know I was on a Subway kick. We used to get a sub from there almost every single day. Then they relocated up the street to a new facility. Quite a few Mexican restaurants. Pro Street Cycles does a ton of custom motorcycle work. Quite a few churches through here. Got Paradise Road, Speed and Custom, Robert Massey. He builds a lot of extreme hot rods. Back in the back there, there's a new shop. They're doing twin turbos and a lot of things. I need to go stop by and check those guys out. I met them on a poker run. I hadn't even had time to tell you. Davis Off-Road, for you guys that want to know where stuff is. There's our Subway, our new Subway. There's the old monster truck shop, we call it. It was a cement company, and then a service shop. And the flea market. We just passed the big flea market. I wish you guys watching this on YouTube could see how that went on Facebook. That got shared to like a Chester's page, because we're in Chester area, and then it got shared to like a Chesterfield page, and I think last count it was pushing 500 shares. So hundreds of, that might have been one of our most viral videos. Hundreds of thousands of views through the different shares. So many comments, so many memories. Leonard's truck caps, camper shells. Matter of fact, we have one of their original sheds that was their office. They used to have their office in a shed. We still have that. Service shop right there. Express. Probably got 15 of our trucks sitting there right now getting oil change inspections. Whataburger, not to be confused with Roy's Big Burger, but I think it used to be Roy's Big Burger. Then it became Whataburger. And here we are back at Davis Auto Sales. Both sides of the road and both city blocks. Just dropping off a truck. Did a quick little clip, little short. Don't know how many of you guys watch our shorts. Seems like they must show up on people's feed a little differently, but dropping off a Bronco that we sold that actually another dealer purchased for the same price you guys could have purchased it, and an F450 same way. So guys, there are some deals to be had. No different than this one. This truck right here is a smoking deal for a built Bronco, and you guys just rode in it. It drives and rides really well. So Kristen got us back alive. Kristen also showed you some of the new merch yesterday on the last video, so be sure to watch that. You can purchase that merch. You can also win that merch. Thanks for all that entered and watched that video to the end and commented on it. And we are back to the office.